Hello and welcome to the video. This is the only OP13 pre-release guide you'll need to help you perform better or even win your local pre-release. So, let's start the video by explaining how a pre-release is played for anyone who might not have played one before. So, each player will receive 6 packs of OP13. Then, players will build a 40 card deck from the 6 packs they're given by using the cards that they pull from their packs to put into their decks. And then players should bring their own leader that they wish to play in the event. We're going to go over some good leaders that I think you can bring in the next part. But some events will be Rainbow Luffy events. If you have a Rainbow Luffy leader, I'd recommend taking it with you, just in case the store doesn't have some to give out. But most of the time they usually do have some to give out. They have a lot spare. They usually get given way too many. So let's go over what makes a good pre-release deck. So, strong counter with 2 good counters and counter events. Blockers to protect your life and big bodies that you want to win games with. Vanilla statline cards are so important. They put in so much, like the 5/7s, the 4/6s, some of the best cards that you'll have in your pre-release. Card draw and filter to help you find your blockers, your strong counter cards, your win conditions, your powerful play cards, everything. And then you've got the win conditions and the power plays. These are the cards that will ultimately help you win the game or outright win you the game. So for people who aren't playing the Rainbow Luffy version of the event, you'll have to take your own leader. There's a lot of leaders to choose from, so it can be a daunting task. But here are some of the leaders that I think are the best. So we've got Red Blue Ace from the new set. The leader ability is once per turn, you can trash a card from your hand. And if you do, give it to one of your opponent's characters or leaders, minus 2,000 power. And then, if he has a Don attached to him, if you take a damage, or one of your characters with 6,000 power base or more is KO'd, then you get to draw a card. So it's constant card draw, and it's a free 2k counter or not free 2k, it can turn any card into a 2k counter. Next, we got Rainbow Luffy. You can still play it, even if you're not in the Rainbow Luffy event, just bear in mind you will be into other decks. I think it's really strong because its leader ability is it's treated as every other card type in the game, so you can use any card in your deck and still get its ability. Next up we have Red Sanji. I think this is just the best leader for pre-release. Like, if you're looking to win, take Red Sanji. Its leader ability is once per turn, activate main, up to one of your cost 8 or lower characters without an on-play effect will gain rush until the end of the turn. So for as soon as you play a character, you start attacking. It's very aggressive, very good. Zoro is an interesting one. He's not as good this set because he doesn't have as much rest, but he's still strong. You can still clear board nicely with him with his leader ability. Like 8,000 at a body on board and then at life is still very good, but he has fallen off this pre-release purely because he just doesn't have enough rest cards. Bonnie, however, is very good this pre-release. There's a lot of film cards this set that at the end of your turn or when they're played will restand Dawn. So it's really easy to have Dawn up at the end of your turn that you can use to activate her leader ability, which is really strong. So you could play a very defensive deck with Bonnie. Yamato, he's always been good. Double attack is just insane, and then lets you be very efficient with Dawn by attaching it once you've used it to play things, so you can be quite aggressive as well. Shanks is cool. This might just be a bit of a personal bias because I play a lot of Shanks myself, but it can be a free counter to a 5,000 power swing. It can help bring counter costs down. I think it's quite strong. And then we've also got, we've got Green Kid. So Green Kid is interesting. Green Kid is similar to Yamato. However, you need to rest 3 Dawn in order to use his leader ability and trash a card from hand. So the idea behind Green Kid is you trash your brick cards and you swing very large numbers at your opponent. He's kind of outshined by Zoro now, but I still think he's quite strong. And then we also have Nami. So Nami is another one. I've not seen people talk about Nami, but I think she's strong purely because of her leader ability where she has a Dawn on her. On your opponent's attack, you can trash a card from your hand and then she gains plus 2,000 power for the turn. That's on your opponent's turn, but still, It's going to a 7k lead for the turn for $1 attached to your leader, and one card that's probably going to be a brick in your pre-release is really strong. So, and in addition to that, when you take a life or your opponent takes a life on your turn, then you can draw a card. You have 7 or less cards in hand, which is really nice for keeping your hand size healthy. But yeah, these are the leaders I think that are the best to play if you're not in a Rainbow Luffy event. So next up were our strong counter. So of course you got our 2Ks. Honestly, there's not much to go off. These are just all the 2Ks in the set. I think if there's any, I'd say, like you have to prioritize 2Ks, taking them. Just I'd say Otama is one of the best ones. Inazuma is very good value. Rouge is really nice to get it off life, because if you're playing Rainbow Luffy, you're an 8k leader for the turn, which is silly. But then the rest are fine. I don't think you need to do ramping with Buggy. Jupiter is really expensive for a 7 cost for 7,000 power. That's not even guaranteed. I don't think he's worth playing out, but as a 2k he's fine. Miorscard, you're never going to get value from it, because I don't think you'll be running any stages. Edison, it's fine. It's quite bad hand filter. Like, there's a lot better. Still though, they're all 2Ks. I would honestly, if you get 2K, just put it in your deck. It doesn't matter what it is. Just play 2Ks. They're so good in this format. You need them to keep your characters alive. Just play all the 2Ks you can get. And then next up, we also have our counter events. So these are recent additions to the game. They started appearing in OP10 with Divine Departure, and now we just have so many of them, it's ridiculous. But I'd say if you get any of these, please too. I'd say the best ones here are Paper Art After Image and Never Existed. These are just the two best out of all of these. Maybe Divine Departure as well. But if you have to prioritize, I'd say Divine Departure, Never Existed, and Paper Art After Image are the best 3. But honestly, I'd just play all of them, because that not only are they 3k counters, but some of them have really useful effects, which we're going to go over later. But yeah, I'd say just counters so important. All of these are amazing. So next up we have our blockers. So the thing with blockers is there's not that many this set. We have, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 14 blockers. 2 are super rares, and I don't think you want to play Connie. So realistically, you're going to have easy access to 11 blockers. However, I think the 11 that you have are quite good. So I think the best ones you want to be playing is Hiyori. This is just by far one of the best. Like, you block, and then you gain a life by trashing a card from your hand. So block, trash a brick, gain a life. Newgate, hand filter, and a 12k blocker. Probably a win con as well, to be honest. Walkyrie on KO, draw a card, nuts. It's really good. Yeah, Marcus Mars is another one that you want to keep an eye out for. If you get one of these, I'd play it, because it's one of the few control cards that is actually in this set. There's about 3 good cards that have removal this set. So if you get a Marcus Mars, put it straight in your deck. Morgan's is also nice for filtering your hand as well, just to find those cards you want. And then Vegapunk's one of those iffy blockers. You can't see it here because I'm in the way, sorry. But if you have 2 or more given Don cards, this character gains blocker. It's situational. I don't think it's that hard to get off late game, so I would still run it if you get it. But yeah, just blockers are also so important for protecting your life, protecting your big bodies. Play blockers. Now, we're at vanilla Statline cards. So, for anyone who doesn't know, a vanilla Statline card is a card that's power will be 2 higher than the cost. So if it was a 6 cost, it'd be 8,000 power, like the Lord of the Coast here. Some of these you might see may not follow that rule, but I'll explain why. So all these, very explanatory: 5-7, 6-8, 3-5, 5-7, 4-6, 5. Like you get the point. But these 2, Rakuyo and Koala, I've put them in the vanilla section because Curiel as well. But the reason I put them here is because they all have their own ability can facilitate them having a vanilla stat line. So if you look, Curiel can give Arrested Dawn to a leader or character when he attacks. So just give it to himself, make himself a 3-5. Rakuyo, if you have 4 or less cards in your hand, or your characters with Whitebit Pirates get plus 1,000 this turn. So he's essentially also a 3-5 if you have a low enough hand count. And then Koala, you may place one card from your trash at the bottom of your deck and give a Rested Dawn to your leader or one of your characters. So again, just give it to herself, and she's a 5/7. So the only thing I would say out of these not to play is Saint Jalmac. Like, he's not awful, but if you want to be aggressive, I would say don't play this, because he's just attaching a Don feels bad, just for a 5k swing. I would avoid Saint Jalmac if you can, but if you have to fill up a space and you have one, just throw him in. So now we're at our card draw and filter. So the cards I've put here is Garp, Izo, Newgate, all these here. So Garp is interesting. I would only play Garp if you're in a Rainbow Luffy, playing Rainbow Luffy, or you're playing Ace. So the reason for that is because you can't use his ability otherwise. But what he does is he looks at the top 4 cards of your deck and adds a card with cost 3 or more to your hand, which is a really good searcher. And then the rest of these are all draw. So Izo's draw 2. The stat line is kind of trash, but draw 2 is really nice for keeping a healthy hand size. Newgate is just such a good card. Draw 2, trash 1, and you just get attach Rested Dawn to your leader and characters. He's insane. Otama is really nice for hand filter when you're at a low enough life. On KO, Curiel will draw you a card. It gives people an incentive not to attack you, but when they do, you draw a card from it, which is really nice to just replace him. Haruta, I've not seen people really talk about this, but I think the card's really good. So it's kind of like, so you'll get to attack with it when you have a low enough hand size, and after that, if your opponent respects it, it acts as a pseudo blocker, as long as they don't have like a low power body. But it will act as a pseudo blocker as long as if your opponent attacks it, which is, I think, is quite nice. Boa Hancock you can't see here, but she is on KO. If your leader's Boa Hancock or multicolored, draw 2 cards. Yamato, he is, if you have 3 or less life cards, draw 2 and then give a Rested Dawn card to your leader. Or Little Oars Jr., another one that you should only really be playing if you're on a Whitebeard Pirates deck or Rainbow Luffy. He is, if your leader has a type including Whitebeard's Pirate, draw a card when attacking. For a 7/7 stat line, I think that's really good. So I would consider that putting it in your deck if you get it. Scopper Gaban is just draw 2, trash 1, but you have to be a Roger Pirate to use it, so play Roger or play Rainbow Luffy. Edison is kind of crappy. Like, the hand draw isn't great on it, to be honest. I wouldn't play it personally, but again, it's a 2k, so it should... I wouldn't play it for its ability, I'd play for the 2k. And then Morgan's is another one that it's got the hand, it's got the filter, it's got the blocker. I'd absolutely include this in your deck. Now, we're at win conditions and powerful plays. So, what you're going to notice here at the top is there is a lot of film cards, and the reason for that is most of them say on play set Don as active. So Uta, Sanji, and Chopper are all set 2 Don as active on play. So is Zoro down here actually. And what's nice about this is, so on curve, when you're at 4 Don or your 5 Don turn, instead of just playing a character and swinging 5 with your leader or whatever, you have nothing on board, you can play these guys, and then you restand 2 Don, swing 7 to your opponent's leader, or swing it to a character, and it's just so powerful to get 2 cards from just playing this one, like, so early in the game too, or to even take a life, and you get a decent body from it as well. It's nuts. And then a lot of these too are just like end of your turn ability, set Don as active, so if you want to play Bonnie and you get a lot of these, you're probably going to be in a good position. Zoro sets itself as active at the end of the turn, so it's really hard to remove, because like we said earlier, there's not that much good removal in this set. Beppo is another one. At the end of your turn, set this character or it's one of your Don cards as active. I think Beppo is just an insane card. Like, a 5/7, that's going to be really hard for your opponent to remove, because they can't attack into it if it keeps restanding itself, and you just keep swinging 7 at their face. It's insane. Next, we've got Never Existed. It's a 4k counter. I just think it's such a powerful card, because it could protect your characters too. I would absolutely include this in your deck if you get it. I know you're strong, so I'll go all out from the start. This is another one I would include. It's kind of like a worse Electrical Luna, but it's still a really good card. It will freeze 2 of your opponent's rested 7 costs. So it's another one that I definitely include. Next up we got the Newgate. We've gone over this ability already. It's a blocker, it's 10k, 12,000 power, draw 2, trash 1, attaches 2 rested Don to your leader and a character. It's just insane. Roger is one, so you can play this in any deck and still get his ability. However, it's going to negate your leader ability and all the characters on your field if you're not a Roger Pirate. So it's on play, Don -3, give your leader gains plus 2,000 power, but all your opponent's characters get -2,000 power until the end of your opponent's extend phase, which is crazy. And a 10-13 stat line is really good. But yeah, Roger's one of those. If you see it, I would put it in the deck. Rayleigh, I think Rayleigh is so insane. It's like one of 2 rush cards in the entire set, and for an 8-9 stat line is really good. And it also rests to 5 cost or less, if I remember right. Yep. And then at the end of the turn, you'll get an active Don from him. He just does so much for you. And for 9,000 power rush, auto include in the deck. Oh, sorry, one of 3 rush cards, because I completely forgot about this Bonnie, which is next. So Bonnie is, if your leader has the Egghead type, so only play this if you're in Rainbow Luffy. It'll gain rush, and then your opponent adds the top card of their life to their hand, which is insane. Luffy, on play, you restand 4 Don, but you can't play a character with a base of 5 or more, base cost of 5 or more at the turn, and he has double attack. Double attack is just crazy in a sealed format, and to be honest, 4 active Don is also really good because you could play something like this Zoro or just swing 9, which is also just crazy. Ace, if you have 3 or less life, gains rush, and then on play you give a rested Don to your leader or is it can you give it to a character? No, just a leader. And then you return one of your opponent's characters with cost of 5 or less to their hand and let them play a cost of 4 out in its place, a 4 or lower. But it's 6 cost, 7,000 power rush, which is also really good. And then we got this event here. If I give into force, there'll be no point to my life. So you can rest 1 Don when you play it, and then if you have 1 or less life cards when your leader attacks, your opponent can't activate blocker, which is really good if they have a fair few blockers up and they have 0 life. And so if you get on these, it does give you more incentive to be able to leave your opponent at 0 if you have to, instead of clearing their board instead of attacking their life. It's also just a 3k counter event, which is nice. But unblockable, yeah, this is one of those I would also just put in the deck. So my final notes on your pre-release is, I would say always try to swing 2,000 power above whatever you're attacking. So let's say you're attacking something with 6,000 power. Try and swing at it for 8, because it forces your opponent to use 2 cards from their hand, or a big event or something. It just gets a lot of value. It's really good. Focus on control. So you want to try and control the board state and control your opponent's hand. By doing this, you're minimizing the amount that your opponent can bring back at you. It's just, control is key in the pre-release formats. So if you want to control, I would say if you're playing, you'd want to probably go. It doesn't really matter. It depends what your opponent's playing for turn order, but usually you'll want to go second. It also helps because you get an extra card for going second. So yeah, as we've said already this video, there is not very much good card removal this set. So take advantage of that. Don't be scared to play big bodies, right? Like just bodies, because card removal I don't think it's that prevalent this set. I don't think it's something you need to be very worried about. And then finally, just enjoy the pre-release. Like, just go, have a good time. Don't take it too seriously. I'll say this, and I'm going to get chat from my friends because I will be taking it seriously. But enjoy it, and you'll have a good time no matter what. And good luck.